In this short video, we're going to take a look at how to register a new parachain. If you're a parachain candidate, how to register for a parachain on the Kusama network or generally on any relay chain that will support this functionality. In this video, I'm using the local copy of the Rococo testnet, but the process will be identical on the live networks. The UI might change a little bit to accommodate new functionality and better UX, but in general, everything should stay more or less the same. In order to get to get your chain onto a relay chain, you have to onboard through being a parathread. So every chain that wants to become a parachain will have to go through the parathread phase first. And to do that, you have to first reserve a para ID. So this is going to be an ID slot on the chain that you will occupy later with your parachain. To do that, we will just click the Add Para ID button, which will pick the next available ID for you, and it will reserve a deposit for this. So every candidate needs to put down a deposit to reserve this ID. This just prevents ID hoarding. Let's say that Bob wants to reserve a Parachain ID 2001, and let's submit this transaction. So now our ID has been reserved, and we can actually now upload the parathread. So the parathread allows you to upload the WASM runtime, so the logic of the chain, the core of the chain, to the relay chain. And so we do this by clicking on parathread, and Bob, you can see here, owns chain 2001. So this will automatically select it for you. Now, for this to work, you need the code, you need the WASM function, and you also need the initial state of the chain. So that's the genesis state, like which accounts are going to have how much balance and so on. And so to generate this, you have to actually run some commands on your collator, on your on the node of your chain, which Cumulus provides. And so this is actually fairly easy to do by just executing this command. So you will target your binary, then you will call the export genesis state function and provide the parachain ID, and this will be exported into a file we'll call the state file here. Then the next command is going to also call the binary that you have for your chain, and it's going to call the export genesis WASM, which exports the WASM validation function that you need to upload to the parathread dialog. So if we run this, you can see now that in this folder I have the state file and the WASM file, which we are going to upload now. So if I click on code and then I find the WASM file, you can see that the reserved deposit has risen to 23 units. So this is because of the weight of the file. So this is 300 kilobytes, and thus the deposit increases in size. And then the initial state is going to be the state file. And so this is small, so this didn't affect the deposit very much. And now I can upload this to the relay chain. All right, so now we have this this chain onboarded. So it's being onboarded. It has some time remaining before it's turned into a parathread, and this is how you add your parachain to the relay chain. Up next, we'll take a look at how to initiate a crowd loan for your parachain so that it can actually get into some leases.